Bienvenidos y welcome back to another episode of 97.9's in El Barrio, where we showcase different Latina and Latina-owned businesses in the DFW really doing the dang thing. I'm your host Kirby Lozano, and we have a specialty episode. As you can see, it is Latina History Month, and we have to pop off with a true inspiration for all that cross her path, solidifying her role as a Latina trailblazer, small business owner, and a Dallasite. Matter of fact, her actions of continuously showing up have literally pivoted her to be a pinnacle of our actual DFW Metroplex, being over 15 years of traditional dental health care, earning multiple degrees, volunteering across DISD, gracing the cover of Sky High Magazine. You've been in the Dallas Observer multiple times. You've been a guest host on the Carla Medrano podcast. You've
Yeah.
collabed with Kendra Scott, Texas Women's Foundation. You might have even seen her blinging out some teeth next to the likes of the icon DJ Christy Ray. You have hosted your own local pop-up shops as well, which is phenomenal. And she's probably trending on the timeline right now, being funny and educational at the same dang time. In specialty occasions, you might see her moonlighting as a singer with the Vicky Ray Band from time to time, whether it's Porchella, Carne Asada Fest, maybe SoundCloud links. We might see you as we get further into it. More importantly, she is the queen of pretty pearly white teeth, founding the world renowned The White Pearl Co. of the White Pearl Co. Whitening Kit, as seen on Amazon USA, Amazon Canada, Amazon Mexico, Walmart, and of course, the whitepearl.co. The Dallas Dental Babe, first generation Mexican American daughter, sister, super mom that holds it down solo with her son, who is on the spectrum, an overall Latina badass, busting down doors from the start. Welcome, Miss Angely Almazán.
Thank you. That was an amazing intro.
Girl,
Wow.
you are amazing. I was like, I literally have to put my notes down because you are literally phenomenal. And you do it like on the low, but on the high key. Like you have so many accolades and you're so humble about it. Like you really have to search to realize everything you actually do.
Right. I'm like, I do a lot. I don't say a lot, but I do a lot.
Love it. That's why this is what this is for, to make sure that we all are seeing and hearing what you're doing. So, with that being said, in El Barrio, one of the things I love to focus on is starting with our roots, because the roots kind of show how big you grow as a tree, as a person.
Right.
So, with that being said, you are Mexican American. Can you give us some specifics of your roots, your Mexican roots, your family, and where that was all started?
Yeah. So my family is from a small place called Villa Juarez, San Luis Potosi, Mexico. My parents both were born, raised there, and now have retired back in Mexico. So we still have ties back to the motherland. We go visit often. But your typical, kind of story where we're looking for a better future. They were following that American dream and they came to the United States. And I hope that I'm making my parents proud and that, we were able to fulfill that, or we're fulfilling that.
Yes. And so when your family came over, was it straight to Texas, or how did that
Mhm.
work out?
So my dad was brought over at a very early age. He was brought to Chicago. So he grew up in Chicago. And then my mom came over when she was about 18 years old and they came to Dallas. So story goes, my dad and my mom met in Mexico, fell in love, and he came looking for her in Dallas, moved to Dallas for that reason, to follow her. Yeah. And we've been here ever since.
I love a good love story, and Dallas is the home of it. We are obsessed. I'm
Mhm.
obsessed. With something else I wanted to acknowledge is, like, not too long ago, you mentioned that I think it was your grandmother, that around your age, she had 8 kids and lived a completely different life than you
Yeah.
live now.
I was gonna say my grandmother, well, both sides, right? So my dad's mom had 10 kids, and then my mom's mom had 7 kids. So it's crazy knowing that around my age, my grandmother already had 8 to 9 kids. I only have one, and I can't even imagine what having such a large family would be like.
Yes. Yes, that's phenomenal. And because of that, like with that being said, with such large families, do you feel like your grandparents, your family, is it still like close involved? I mean, as far as you're still in Chicago, or y'all in Mexico, all your cousins, your uncles, your tias, your tios, like how does that look?
Yeah, so we're all really close. I mean, recently we just had a big family gathering or get together in Chicago for 4th of July, so that was really fun. But yeah, we still keep in touch, support each other, which is the best part. The Amazon family is really big, but we keep in touch and support each other.
That's
Mhm.
huge. I think that's a great part because that kind of leads me into the next part of foundation and being able to have a strong foundation around you. So, one interesting thing I saw is that you went to, well, for the most part, you were in the DISD system, but first grade, when you kind of entered, you actually didn't speak any English.
Right. Yeah. So when I first started school, kindergarten, I spoke zero English. And I still remember being in kindergarten and trying to like use the little English I had to like communicate, which is like, but I caught on pretty fast. So by like first grade, they had already switched me over to just a regular English class instead of like ESL. But I was in ESL for a while, for kindergarten at least.
So, what do you feel like as far as that being, again, a part of your foundation? Do you feel like that did impact how you navigated as you continued to grow up and like be with different groups and people?
For sure. Now in recent years, I've been trying to get more close to like, I mean, I speak Spanish. It's my first language, but I know a lot of people who feel the same way. You speak Spanish, but you know you can't speak it to like the way you speak English. It doesn't flow as easy. So now it's about trying to get back to my roots, trying to have more
Mhm.
friendships or people around me who speak Spanish so that I can learn how to speak it correctly, at least, not so much slang.
Yeah, no, that's actually huge because I feel similar. I mean, I'm always getting in, they always laughing at me because my Spanish be a little, but you know what I was saying, right?
We try, exactly. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this is that there's a lot of people who will label people as no sabo, and I hate the term no sabo. It's like at least we're trying to learn. So instead of making fun of someone, encourage them and maybe correct them, but be kind.
Yeah.
Always be kind.
So I guess so. I mean, what do you consider yourself? Because again, originally, from your foundation of starting school without having even a little bit of English to now kind of maybe people throwing those words at you. How do you personally identify yourself?
As far as like, what do you mean? Like, what
Like
do I identify as? I always say I'm Mexican.
you're
What?
Mexican. Are you a Spanish speaker?
Mexican. Yeah, I'm Mexican, but see, and I hope one day that I speak Spanish so well that are like, oh my God, what part of Mexico are you from? And I'm like, Dallas, Texas.
Gotcha. I love that. No, same. I'm the same way. Puro tejana por mío.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
so with that being said, though, again, a lot of the foundation of who you are today did start pretty early on.
Mhm.
Something else that you kind of I already just knew you were going to go into the dentistry field and
Mhm.
work in this industry overall. What leads a kid to want to work a dirty mouse?
It's when I still wonder about that too, because it's like, why did I get into I just knew since like I was like 10 that I wanted to be in dentistry. Like it's just something about making people happy with their smile. But I had a cousin who was a dentist in Mexico, and so I got to see her. She took me to her school, got to see her working on patients, and I just loved seeing how happy they were with like their cleaning, their results. It's just something about just being so happy to get that work done. You literally change people's lives with their smile, because that's the first thing people notice is your smile.
Absolutely. No, that's an absolute fact. Uh-oh. Look, she is popping business hours. No, look, I gotcha. So okay, so with that being said, first off, shout out to your cousin because I heard so shout out to the women that are doctors as well. With that
Mhm.
being said, you did have a slight kind of halt, acknowledging, you are a mother and you were a pretty young mother at that. With that being said, you have a very specific case with your son. He is on the spectrum, and then he also has a little bit of epilepsy from time to time. Is that something that was a part of your family? Was that y'all's first experience with that? How did that
Mhm. So
work out?
yeah, I mean, it's also taking this back to I was a young mother. I was 19, and knowing that I had a son on the spectrum. I mean, it's our. I've never been around it, so it was something completely new, completely different. There was definitely times of just feeling very lonely, and so I always say for somebody who's in that same situation, it's really trying to find your community, somebody who identifies with you, trying to find someone that you can identify with pretty much, so they can tell you like how to handle that, because it goes depending on the severity, because we know autism is a spectrum. It could be someone who's very high functioning and someone who's very low functioning. And so it's just trying to maneuver through that. But yeah, it was difficult. It still is difficult, you know. Every year Julian turns a new year. It's just trying to figure out what's new this time, you know. But it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think you can tell as well that you're a phenomenal mom just by the way your son loves on you. One of my favorite videos I think I saw, like you literally just put your head on his lap and he just, I think he's like Merry Christmas or something, but it was just so beautiful.
Happy birthday. And it was not my birthday, but that's like one of his favorite things to say is happy birthday. You see him now and you walk in and he's like, happy birthday. And it's like, oh, okay.
Period. Party's here. That's what I like to say. That's my version of it. So I love that. Well, with that being said, I obviously, again, there was a tough time of just realizing and acclimating, but then it turned around and it also became your motivation. And you got multiple degrees. Can you run down the letters and numbers and things? Because I know I don't want to shortchange it out.
Well, I mean, I have, of course, my dental licenses, and then I have like my associates. I always say I went to Oak Cliff University, which is Mountain View. So I went to the, community college first, got that done, went to Texas Women's University. I have a bachelor's of science in biology and chemistry, minor in sociology. And next thing I'm working on is my master's, hoping to get that done.
Yes.
In business. Yeah. I'm already in business, but it would be nice to know more. I just want to know so much.
I love that. Like education is definitely what kind of propels us to be a better person than we were yesterday. So it's already in the world, in the stars. You already got your master's period. She's done with it. I can't wait for you to get the picture again.
Hopefully one day my doctorate too, but that's something that we'll get there.
Little by little. But with that being said, it doesn't come easy for people who have iconic lifestyles because they don't just here you go, since you got your degrees, here you go. So that kind of leads me to the next part of you got all the degrees, all the things you needed, and then you weren't able to get into a place to further develop, like a school, a dentistry school. Can you tell me what that journey was like and what happened with that?
Which one, the school?
Yeah, like because you went to go to dental school and everything like that afterwards, and you were having issues of people even reading or looking at what you were applying.
So the steps were, of course, I've worked in dentistry for so long, but the main reason I got into dentistry was because I wanted to learn everything I could learn before applying to dental school to become a dentist. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a dentist. A lot of people think that I am a dentist, but I'm not. I just used what I had to create my own lane in dentistry. Mm-hmm. So so I applied to 12 dental schools nationwide, and I didn't get not one single interview. And so from there, that's where I started my business, where it was like, if I can't get into dental school, like what else can I do? Because I love dentistry so much that I was like, I got to create my own lane. And so that's what I ended up doing. It's just didn't go the dentist route, but I created something else, which was just a specialty in teeth whitening and nail tooth jobs.
Now, so and that's what I was going to say. So, first off, I guess, what was the final straw for you to be like, yeah, I'm just going to have to go another route. Like, I'm not going to stop, but I'm going to go another route. What do you think that was for you?
For me, it was, so I had already decided. So when I started the teeth whitening business, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to apply again. So I need to save up money. I need to save up enough to be able to not just apply, but you also have to have, financial, like the money to be able to travel to these cities, hotel stay, everything. I'm bougie, so I'm going to be needing to eat at all the good restaurants while I'm at these cities. So I knew that I needed to do something on the side, a little side hustle to bring in some money. So that's where I started doing teeth whitening, and then from there it just turned into, I don't even need to go to dental school anymore because I'm doing so well in what I'm doing that it just completely, it wasn't necessary anymore. But little 10-year-old me inside me is still like, no, you should still get your doctorate. So that's still something that's kind of floating around. And that's why I say maybe, hopefully I can. That would be great. But if it doesn't, I mean, I feel like I've already established myself in the dental field to not have to do that.
Absolutely. 100%. And again, that's where I'm like, you knock down your own doors. Even if they tell you, no, it's closed. You're like, I know I came in through the window. Maybe it's the cliffside in me, but I came in through the window. And that's so with that being said, you are you're going on 6 years of having the White Pearl Co. And you said you were already kind of doing whitening on the side. How did the official White Pearl Co. whitening kit, which is 10 shades lighter in 20 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
How did that like come to be an actual fully developed product for you?
So it started as, I was so busy at work that I started getting a lot of clients coming in from like not just Dallas, outside of Dallas, then people outside the state coming to see me. So then it was just one of those like, oh, I wish I could come see you more often, but I for whatever reason I can't come in as soon as I need to. So I was like, oh, I need to develop a product, something that they can use at home that is good quality, just like if they were here in my office. And that's where I started the whitening kit. And the whitening kit did so well, it's sold out. There it is. It's sold out 4 times within like releasing it. Like before I even made it in, it was already sold out. So it was great. I didn't know it was going to happen, which is, I think is the funny part, is like, it's always like, I do something not expecting a huge outcome, because I really was just doing it to help out my already established clientele. But it's very happy to see that it's, not just them, it's everywhere. People are buying it nationwide.
Yeah, right. So with that being said, on one end, we're not going to drop any free names because no free branding over here. But compared to other whitening kits that you might see on the shelves,
Right.
you have a percentage that's way higher, substantial as far as the whitening components to make sure that people are really going to leave in 20 minutes with a brighter smile than they came in with. That also being said, you still have classes to teach people how to do it themselves.
Right.
Most people, especially nowadays, they be like, keeping all the info for myself. What makes you feel the importance of actually hosting classes, people who want to get a little bit further into the whitening field and the dentistry field in general?
Because I feel like it's I was going to say, it's an opportunity. So I know there's a lot of women out there similar to me who maybe, school is not something that you're able to easily attend, be it, it's just super expensive. I still owe 36,000 to TW. Okay. First of all,
going put together,
so it's like, some people don't have that. And so if I can provide a way to help them financially, help them start a new business, or add this to their already established business, that makes me happy. It's like, how can I help you become more, because I feel like that opportunity should also be available to other people, not just myself.
Absolutely. Which leads me to big things happen. Little things are not stopping for you because you have your actual product across the world right now. Sorry. No, it's okay. That means, again, business booked in business. I better call them now because
Sorry.
you're good. You're good. Like, thank you, because I know that you're literally in the middle of your regular work.
Okay, yeah.
I appreciate you for doing this with us. With that being said, though, like I said, how did you get your individual item all the way from literally, I'm just doing this for a couple people that have been coming to me, to Walmart, to Amazon Mexico and Canada? How did that happen?
And we have 13 other countries that we're going to be launching in here soon. It's just, yeah. Thank you. It's all over. Guys, like, I don't know, it was just the demand is so big. And teeth whitening is something everybody does, or everybody needs. The first thing that people would ask for when they would come into the dental office was, when can I get my teeth whitened? So I knew that there was a need for that. So it was just establishing something easy, convenient that people could use.
Absolutely. And with that being said, because all of this is like completely presented on the interweb with a pretty bow on top through the Dallas Dental Babe. So when and where was she born, and how did she come into all the mix?
So I came up with the name just randomly, Dallas Dental Babe, and that's kind of where I started first. Was Dallas Dental Babe was like the initial, like, before I launched the White Pearl. I did that for a year and a half, and then I opened up the White Pearl. But I remember when I created the name, my sister was like, "That's really cheesy. Why Dallas Dental Babe?" And I was like, "I don't know, it just flows. I like it." And now online, you'll see all kinds of variations of Dallas Babe, and I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I could have. I'm glad I influenced y'all in some way. And if even if you didn't know, yeah.
It did. It's your own accreditation. Because again, even in my head, like it flows. You're right. Dallas Dental Babe. It's a great branding again. And then one thing I love, it's first off, Dallas sites. We love anything with Dallas in it. We're gonna rip it. Got Dallas in it. Oh, we're for it. So there's that for sure. But with that being said, one thing that I really love about the Dallas Dental Babe brand in general is that you have a nice balance of you're funny as hell, even though you're gorgeous. A lot of times pretty girls be like, I want to be, Mystique or whatever. But you keep it funny, you keep it lighthearted, but you educate people for one on how to maintain their pretty smile. And then you also have your moments of vulnerability whenever it comes to you as like an actual person processing some of these big life events and stuff like that. What what makes you feel comfortable enough to be able to share both sides of that vulnerability and, kind of being on the goopy side of things in front of all of those thousands of people all the time?
Right. I feel like a lot of it has to do with it is who I am. And it doesn't matter if you are perfect. People are going to find things to nitpick about you. It's really just not caring at all what anybody has to say. Just come as yourself, present yourself, and people who love you for you will love you. And that's kind of where I come from. Like that's how I approach it.
Love that. 100% we agree, which is on a side note, if you want people who you have some shelf space, I think, available in your actual office. So people have local brands and they want to maybe show up as themselves or show up as their brand. They can also come to you, right? And maybe have a little shelf spot and let people know.
We have a few local shops that have a setup here. Like we have candles, we have what's it like cups with like cute little designs on them. And I would love to be able to fill up my shelves with more. And people come in, people walking by, they buy stuff. So I mean, it's cool if anybody wants to pop up at the White Pearl, let me know.
Yeah. With that being said, I was going to say, it kind of brings me into pop-up culture is a lot for our culture, Latino culture, as well as like, I think upcoming small business Dallas culture. Can you say what that impact has been for you and how you hope to be able to continue that in the future?
Yeah. So at one point, because I also managed my brother's band called Ricky Ray and the Goons, also on Spotify, all the, what is it? YouTube, Apple. Little shout out to Ricky.
So
I managed them, and so I was trying to find a way to create because it's hard getting gigs out here too, So trying to get venues. So then I started doing pop-ups with them as like with music, and then I was like, why not include other small businesses too? And so then the pop-ups started happening. So I did pop-ups for a while. And I would like to come back to that. I want to create another pop-up, but kind of similar to like Carne Asada Fest. I was really inspired by Sonia. By the way, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday!
It is. I sent her an edible arrangement. I hope she enjoys it.
So she really inspired me, and hopefully one day we can keep that going because we also had we had different varieties of it. We had like Pearlchella, which is like happening around Coachella. Yeah. We had a Pearltoberfest that was really fun, and so I would like to have something like that in the near future, which again, like live music, pop up, that kind of event.
Yes, because again, you keep trying to downplay it, but on the side note, the reason this speaks to you because you're an artist yourself.
Yeah. Always forget. I'm like, oh yeah, I do have.
Girl, I was like, do you have any other hidden talents that you try to keep from the world? Because wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, do you? Because you did have a song come out kind of like about a year or so ago on SoundCloud. Do you have any songs coming up?
I just got that asked too this week. I am going to put out a song. It's happening.
Here first.
Yes, because I put out a song and it was more for fun. I've been singing since I could speak. I come from a very musical family, so it's just one of those things that I feel like it's fun for me. I like it, but it had been put on I guess it would be to the side because this business started doing so well, and I've been focused on this business. But I would like to put out some more music. I think that would be fun.
And we would like to listen to it and support you in doing so.
Yeah. Spanish, think like Grupo Limite, Little Selena to it, Little Karol G. But yeah.
The baddest one. Yeah. And we will wait patiently. With that being said, one of the things that you also recently said was great, or it was quoted on one of your videos, great things never came from comfort zones. No. So what's next for you outside of your comfort zone, for Angelys specifically?
Being more, so I'm the face of my brand. So it's just getting more comfortable being on camera, videos, photo shoots. And for me, it's just, I've never really, if you notice a lot of my stuff too, or other things that I've done for other people is I like recording, I like taking pictures. But as far as me, I get a little, I need direction. I'm like, can you tell me how to pose? Can you tell me how to, because it's a little hard, you know? It doesn't come naturally. So that's, I think, and that's what I was referring to actually in that video, was like, great things don't come from comfort zones. It's like getting out of that. So hoping to become more natural in front of the camera when it comes to like our ads, because we have a lot of ads coming out soon. So that.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to look for them and repost them because we support around here.
Thank you.
One of the last things we do is we started a playlist on Spotify, and we call it Por Mis Primos, because it's a playlist that we know like all of our cousins need to make sure they have this in their playlist. So do you have a song recommendation for us to add to the playlist? It can be any kind of genre, any kind of background, any kind of year, but we just want to add to the playlist for the primos.
Sabor a mí.
Yes, she will. Period.
That was my grandfather's favorite song, and it's one of those songs that I like to listen to when, it reminds me of him, and it's a beautiful song.
It is an absolute.
It's an old school song. If you're into that, definitely check it out.
Absolutely. Well, again, we always have to have our, morning cleaning on the weekends, some classics to get it going. So
yeah, the little cafecito. That's the kind of song that you drink your cafecito and you're looking out the window, really reflecting on life. That's the
period. And I appreciate you, because now the primos are going to get it too. Okay, I literally, I knew I would talk too much because you have so many amazing things going on, but people can be a part of you, the White Pearl Coat journey, the Angely journey, and everything in between. Can you give people the best way to stay in touch with you?
You can follow me on all socials at Dallas Dental Babe, and also at the White Pearl Co.
Yes. Okay. I can't wait to see you in all those countries. Can't wait for the song coming up. And I look forward to seeing all of your great looking previews coming out, all your commercials. Thank you so much for being on our first episode of the Celebrating Latina History Month in El Barrio. And I appreciate y'all for watching. We'll be back soon.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye.